Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sully Squad. We got a huge show tonight. We got Game 1 of the National League Championship Series, so extremely pumped about that. I wish I could say it's Victory Monday, but unfortunately, the Eagles took that L yesterday, and it doubly sucked for me because me and Fuji were up there. Great time, but obviously horrible ending, horrible game. Play calling left a lot to be desired. I'm a huge Jalen Hurts fan, but I thought it was one of his worst. I thought it was one of his worst games as a pro. Terrible decision making at the end. The last drive, I thought it was a terrible decision to throw the ball, and it was and where he threw the ball was a terrible decision. I mean, bad enough that you throw the ball, but to throw an interception. I mean, the one thing you couldn't do there was throw an interception, and that's what happened. So we're going to get into all that. We're on a little earlier tonight. I think Sean will be hopping on in a minute. Mike Fuji's actually down at the Phillies game. He, Mike works down there, so Mike's part of the Red October. So we're going to get into it here. I got my man, Mr. 6 for 6, Diego Bianchi. What's up, bro?
What's up, y'all? How you doing? You ready for today, Joe, or what?
Yeah, I am, dude. I mean, I'm pumped. I'm really pumped for tonight. My disappointment from last night is kind of over. Right now, I'm psyched for tonight. Let's keep it real. First off, the 72 Dolphins already popped the champagne because there's no undefeated teams in the NFL yet again. Caught a break earlier in the day with San Francisco losing to Cleveland, as I'm walking in the stadium, I saw that, and then the Eagles went out and laid an egg, bro. But I'm pumped for tonight. But how about if we get through the misery first, and then let's move on to the excitement of tonight.
Let's talk about the bad times, then we'll talk about the good times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, in life, you got to take the good with the bad. We'll start off with the bad, but then we're going to end with the good. So
it's like when people are like, you want the good news or the bad news first? You know what I'm saying? Give me the bad news first.
Exactly. Got my man Mike Lauro here. You could check Mike out on Sunday.
What's up, Mike? What's up, baby? Here we go. Game 1.
I know Mike's excited about the Phillies, and I know Mike was he was thinking we had a rocking chair ride, I think, yesterday. And
so did I, though. How do you not, though? Against Zach Wilson, how do you not?
Well, I hear you, man. That Jets defense can ball, man. And how big, I'm not going to sound like the 49ers. I'm not making excuses, but losing Lane Johnson changed the whole complexion of that game because the Jets were dominating Driscoll.
100%, but I don't know. Jalen's got to make plays to win games. You pay him $230-something million. We can sit here and hammer Driscoll. There was a lot of plays in that game where Jalen could have easily stepped up into the pocket. You know what I mean? And instead he rolled out and tried to make a play. And when you roll out to your right, you just take half the field away. And I feel like there was a lot of plays that he left out there yesterday, aside from the interceptions. All right, the interceptions were bad and everything, but he left a lot of plays out there.
Yeah, and also the play calling. 45 runs to 22, and it wasn't even really. It was also. Hang on a second, I got another one. Eileen C. I just got to do this as a Jets fan. Jets, Jets, woohoo! Well, Eileen, I heard
Jets
that. Suck. I heard that a lot yesterday. It was funny. Walking into that stadium is all you heard was Eagles chants. Dude, I think it was probably 60-40 Eagles fans to Jets fans, believe it or not. At least that's the way that's the way it seemed walking in.
I feel like last year when we went, it was like 80-20. Jets sucked last year. So they had even less of a turnout last year.
Well, and you know what's funny? I actually witnessed guys and their girlfriends walking past a bunch of Eagles fans. Like Jets fans were literally getting booed walking into their stadium. Like it was just, it was crazy. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy. Mike Lauro says Jalen was off yesterday. Miss Goddard was wide open a lot yesterday.
You know what the problem is with that? That's becoming, besides last week, That's becoming the script with Jalen. He's been missing open guys all year.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, I don't want to say he regressed because our team really hasn't changed. And I know he's trying to get used to another offensive coordinator, but for most of these games, he has looked like he was taking a step back from last year. And that's not encouraging at all.
But, so listen, I'm a, we're Jalen guy, I mean, Jalen proved himself to me last year. I'm not writing the kid off over 6 games, and I know you're not either.
I'm not.
Right. But yeah.
But you got to worry a little bit.
I am. And I am, for the simple fact that, I watch pretty much every game on TV. I don't go to many games. Well, I had the end zone view yesterday because my seats are in the end zone. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you, there were a lot of times where Jalen had a clean pockets, like literally a clean pocket where you could just step up and he was rushed a lot yesterday, but there was a lot of times where he brought the rush to himself, where he kind of made the rush. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
By rolling out early, there was at least 3 plays. I know I said this to you at work today. There was at least 3 plays where Jalen could have stepped up in the pocket and he rolled right, and Driscoll, and to be honest, Driscoll was trash in some respect, but I don't blame Driscoll in them because he doesn't know Jalen's going to roll to the right. You know what I'm saying? He thinks he's
and that's just, once you start rolling to the right, you're now asking the offensive lineman to be more athletic than that defensive lineman. That's not happening. You know what I mean? So once they can just get off your block and try to beat you to a spot, that the end's beating you there every time. He's beating the lineman there every time. Every time Jalen rolls out, you're watching 3 guys chase him because offensive linemen can't be out there. They can't make their way out there with these defensive linemen and linebackers and shit.
Yeah, and here's Paul with a comment here. Jay says Jalen looks different when the RPO is not the first option. Teams making him read defenses now, and play calling sucked as well. I got no arguments with Paul. I mean, he's kind of right on all accounts. Now, I will say Lane Johnson being out of the game played a major role in play calling because, at times they had to have running, for instance, they had to have running backs chip on the guy that Driscoll was blocking, where you wouldn't have to do that if you had Lane Johnson. So but
they did it. I don't even think they did that enough. They should have helped Driscoll more than they did, in my opinion. Look, Mike said the same thing. Driscoll got no help. I didn't think he got enough help. Maybe they gave him 1 or 2 chips, but if you got Driscoll that's taken over a position of arguably the best player who plays that position in the NFL, you better give that man some help. And first of all, DeAndre Swift couldn't block me.
Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, as good as DeAndre Swift is as far as running and catching the ball, DeAndre Swift is not a good pass blocker, and I
none of the running backs are. Gainwell's not, Swift is not, and Boston Scott's 5'2". How do you expect Boston Scott to be one? He's like the smallest guy on the field. So, can I ask you why you go and sign Rashad Penny, a big running back, a real bruiser running back, and come out maybe make a block, and you don't activate him? We're on week 6 now. We can't keep making excuses. We're already almost a halfway point.
Yeah, I know Mike Laura says dude was on an island by himself. I know I'm like half tempted to ask, is it do I have to look, do we have to get Rashad Penny on a milk carton or something? Is he alive?
That's what I'm saying, because there's no reason. There's no, he is on a milk carton. He's missing. There's no reason that your 3 running backs should be 3 tiny ass running backs.
And again, Paul Spencer's kind of Paul Spencer saw what I saw at the game, because I saw this on multiple play, at least 4 or 5 plays. Honestly, he says can't blame the line when your quarterback is not climbing the pocket and continues to roll out. Those were coverage sacks.
Yeah, but they were getting a lot of pressure. They were getting a lot. Yeah, Jalen rolled out a lot. Don't get me wrong. I think he rolled out way too much. There was clean pockets. But when they're getting so much pressure on you, you kind of just start to do that naturally, because you expect Driscoll to get beat. Driscoll was getting beat every play.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Sue Opeta played really good against the Rams and against Aaron Donald. I think there were Fuji pointed this out at the game. We were sitting there at least 5 or 6 times. it looked like Opeta had trouble with the snap count. Like the Eagles almost had snap clock violations at least 3 or 4 times, and it looked like it was trying to communicate to Opeta what the blocking scheme was.
Right.
And there was at least one sack. I saw it. Obviously, I saw it live, but I was on. I still call it Twitter. I know it's X now, but I think it was Brian Baldinger, or maybe it was a Jets. It might have been a Jets reporter was breaking it down and showed basically how the Jets kind of confused the blocking scheme, and they did a lot of stunts and twists right up the middle where Opeta was, and they got at least 2 or 3 pressures on Opeta. So, again, not to make excuses, but you look yesterday, and again, we have our strength is our depth on our offensive line. So if we're going to say that's our strength, then we can't whine like little bitches when a couple.
That's what I'm saying. We can't whine because let's be real. The Jets were missing 4 out of their 6 cornerbacks.
Exactly.
The Jets are missing 2 or 3 offensive linemen themselves.
Yeah.
And they still found a way to win the game. And listen, they don't pay a quarterback $230 million. Our defense showed up yesterday.
It did.
Our defense showed up yesterday. So my $230 million quarterback, even on his worst day, should give me 21 points.
I agree. I totally agree. Hang on. Let me get one more comment and let me add Sean here. Paul Spencer says, shit, I was screaming to go 12 or 13 personnel, 1 or 2 tight ends to chip, and I'm not an Eagles fan, just a coach seeing that. No adjustments. That's a little concerning. I'm wondering a little bit about the offensive coordinator.
Well, dude, Lane Johnson got hurt, and they didn't really try to it. That's what I'm saying. Lane Johnson got hurt, and you had no plan B. You had no tight end over there chipping on the Jets defensive end. You had no running back giving Driscoll some help over there. Come on, you got to adjust on the fly. You got to be ready for this shit.
Hear you. What's up, Sean?
What's up, dog?
Yo, I'm good.
Yo, so we're gonna get into some Philly.
All right, you talking?
No, I was gonna say, yeah. So we're gonna do some Phillies in a little bit. You there?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I'm here.
No, that's cool. No, I was saying we're gonna do some Phillies in a little bit, but we're just recapping this horrible Eagles game. What was your number one impression of the game other than shit?
The defense.
You thought they played good?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
They showed up.
Well, that's a positive. That's a positive. We'll take that.
Yeah, we'll take that. I mean, I just said exactly what I'm saying. Like, the defense showed up. So when you pay a quarterback $230 million, if my defense shows up, I need you to find a way to win the games, even when you play like shit.
You know what's funny? That Sean froze for a second. I was saying the defense did exactly what Sean. The defense did exactly the opposite of what Sean did. They didn't freeze. You know what I mean? They're playing.
Yeah, they froze.
Hey, by the way, Paul Spencer says, "Damn, Rangers 5-1." Okay, well that series looks like it might go 2-0 all of a sudden.
Damn, fuck! I took the fucking Astros.
You should never took the cheaters.
The Astros, Phillies, and Cowboys on a parlay.
Damn, Lee.
Oh.
Damn, Lee.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Lee?
I'm just kidding.
I did the opposite. What do you mean? Lee would have took the fucking. He would have. Fuck Lee.
But back to what you were saying about the Eagles game. What really bothered me, you probably guys touched on it, is they totally abandoned the run.
Yeah,
they could have did it. I think why they did the pass is they saw Sauce Gardner and Reed out. So let's throw it. No. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Go with what's best. Mix it up. Run, pass. But they didn't do that. And play calling was horrendous. Play calling was horrendous. And Jalen.
I mean, I said the first couple games, give Brian Johnson time. I just don't think he's a good offensive coordinator who calls good plays. That's what I started thinking. Like, I just don't think you get it. Okay. You had all year knowing that was going to be your position. You had the last 6 weeks knowing that was going to be your position, and you haven't even shown a little bit of growth. Your play calling has been trash every game.
True. I mean, if it's not AJ Brown right now, it's really nothing.
It's true.
Yeah. True.
We're talking about 150, 125, 150 yards in the last 3 games, 3 touchdowns. If it ain't A.J. Brown, this offense is fucking trash right now. And let's be real. It's not like Devontae Smith don't get open. It's not like Dallas Goedert don't get open. Right now, the problem is Jalen Hurts and the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's him coming off a great week. He had a great week last week. How do you follow that up with this?
Yeah.
I'm pissed about that loss because we're about to go through a really tough stretch of games. And that's a game you got to win before you go into these tough stretches of games. You got to take the easy ones because it's only going to get harder now.
I thought our loss would probably come to the Commanders, but boy, was I wrong, you know?
Yeah. Well, now we got to see. Now we got to see who. We got to see Buffalo. We got to see Miami Sunday night. We got to see Kansas City. Got to see Dallas twice. Seattle. Like it's just about to get tough.
It goes.
Francisco?
Yeah.
San Francisco week 13. Like this road's about to get really tough. And let's be real. San Francisco lost a game too yesterday. They had no business losing. No Deshaun Watson. Come on, dude. If I'm a San Fran fan, I feel exactly how I feel about the Eagles this morning.
Yeah, but
or this afternoon.
What's the it's funny though, the common denominator between San Francisco's loss and our loss is the Jets have a top 3 or 4 defense. Like I was sitting right next to this I was sitting right next to these 2 really cool Jets fans yesterday. Yeah. We had a lot of good conversation. You know, it was totally just talking football. Yeah. And we all were in agreement. Like, if you put Aaron Rodgers on the Jets, I mean, they have a hell of a chance for the Super Bowl. They really do.
Oh, absolutely.
We've been saying that, Joe.
Yeah,
because of his presence, his leadership, and just how he balls. You know, it's a total.
And not just that, the weapons they have though. Like Garrett Wilson's unbelievable. Garrett Wilson is unbelievable with a shit quarterback. Give him a Hall of Fame quarterback. 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns, that kind of year.
True. I mean, I think he would distribute the ball more to his tight ends, you know, show the love to wide receivers you don't expect it to. Yeah, Lazard, Cobb, you know, Uzma, Conklin, you know, guys that you expect to get the ball somewhat, but they get the ball more. But the defense, like you said, Joe and Diego, really stuck out to me, man. I mean, I'm just hoping the secondary can kind of regroup, but we're banged up. And I want to see some trades if possible. Howie has to have that in the back of his mind.
I'll tell you what, I've seen a rumor about Jeremy Chin. Jeremy Chin, that dude from Carolina. That's a difference maker.
That's who I want. Yeah, he would really help the back end.
Absolutely. Yes. And if you think about it, he was on our radar draft day, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. He's a young player. So get him. I'm cool with Surtain or Justin Simmons. Just get somebody to, you know, spark this secondary up. And to me, what are your thoughts, guys? Slay and Bradbury? I think Slay mostly's kind of regressed, man. It's kind of lost a step. I think it's time to start looking to, you know, address the need of a new corner or 2 corners.
I kind of feel like Bradbury's been getting beat like every week.
Yeah, you can see it in his footwork because Garrett Wilson, if you watched Hard Knocks, his footwork is awesome.
It's crazy. It's Devontae Smith-ish. You know, it's him and Devontae Smith are the same wide receiver.
Yeah, so that's all I have for the game, man. We just got to regroup for the Dolphins.
I mean, they also didn't help Jalen much yesterday. 2 dropped passes by Devontae Smith. Goddard dropped a big pass that led to an interception. So they kind of hurt him there too. I need Jalen to overcome that shit in a close game.
And I don't know if you guys brought this up real quick. How about leaving Jake Driscoll to high and dry? Why not put in the guy that was from the Bengals or Steen? That's their natural position. I get it that Driscoll played it, but it's not his natural position.
No,
I would rather have a guy. I would rather have a guy. Disagree or agree, guys? The guy's natural position instead of getting thrown in there to the wolves.
I don't blame
Driscoll.
He's been out there before. That's why I feel like they went to him again.
Yeah, exactly. They had that confidence factor almost, Diego. You know, like,
right.
I have faith in you. Get out there and do what you got to do. But I think there's one game that stuck out. Didn't he have a big game against like the Packers or something like last year when he was?
No, you know it was. It was the Saints. The Saints took him to the woodshed. That's one of the reasons. I mean, Minshew looked like shit, but but if you remember, Minshew actually played really well Christmas Eve against Dallas.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Lane Johnson got hurt late in the Dallas game, and you put Driscoll out there, and Minshew got his ass kicked against the Saints. Yeah. Driscoll got abused, and you know everybody shit on Minshew. Listen, I'm not going to pretend to be the number one fan of Gardner Minshew fan club, but I will say Minshew's playing very well for the Colts, by the way. He threw for like 300 and some yards again yesterday. He's played well in all of his games this year. And the game.
Yeah, Joe, but they got behind big in that game.
Yeah, well, I know, but I'm saying, and maybe that could be part of the stats, but I'm saying a few weeks back he played well, though, when they won.
Yeah, he did. He did a few weeks back.
You know,
who's their head coach?
Shane Steichen.
And Steichen is letting him be Gardner Minshew. Just like when he was here, he let Hurts be Hurts. Throw that ball. You know, do what you got to do.
See, I think to your point, I think that if first off they had good news about Lane, that the injury's not.
I love it. Yeah, that's a positive.
But I still think he might miss a couple weeks. Now, I think that you will see the kid from. I think the kid from Cincinnati would be the guy to start because they just re-signed him.
Yeah.
Did you see in the preseason they extended him?
Yeah, you have to.
I read where they said, now it's only preseason, so who gives a shit about preseason? But they said he was like the number one rated tackle in the preseason, like as far as like no pressures and also to me,
what's his name?
I would get a shot.
What's his name?
Fred Thomas. Fred Thomas, I believe.
I think his name's Johnson.
Fred Johnson, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, but.
Yeah, roll with him. You don't even know his name.
I don't even know. I don't know. I haven't seen him play yet.
He's serviceable. Better than, feeding Driscoll to the wolves. You know what I mean? So
I'm fine. I'll find.
I agree with the point. Like, if you have someone who plays that position naturally, then go to him first and see if he can hold up in his natural position before you go to someone who's a guard and as good. Like Driscoll's not bad inside.
No,
he can't play on the outside.
I'm not taking anything away from him, but I want a guy, like I said, Diego, his natural position. And if he does falter, so be it, next man up. And it's Stoutland you, so everybody's ready.
I agree.
Diego, you got hope, Diego. It's 5-2. Bergman just hit a home run. All right,
Bregman.
So what's up with the Phillies?
Hang on a second. Before let's get a quick prediction on this Dolphins game, and then we'll get into the Phillies. Because by the time we do this show next week, it's going to be Kelly Green Sunday.
Okay.
So I'm excited. I am excited about that. What's our predictions for next week, next Sunday?
I don't have a good feeling about next Sunday.
I have a good feeling it's going to be a very tight. It's going to be a very close game. We eke out the win.
That's not a good feeling, Sean. That's a horrible feeling.
Okay.
We win by the skin. We win by the skin of our teeth.
Skin of our teeth.
A great feeling about this.
It's going to be a close game, Okay. 38-34, a close game. Us.
Wow.
Man, I definitely see it. I definitely do see it being high scoring. I don't know if we have anyone on our team that wants it with Tyreek Hill. How do you stop him?
Oh.
What do we do to stop him? Who do we even put over top that can even stop him? You know what I mean? That's what scares me.
Man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just watched this weekend. Carolina loses, but they're not a bad defense, and he's torched them. And then it looked like he torn his hamstring. Took 2 drives off, comes back in first play, 55-yard catch. I don't know. I would say 31. 34-31 Dolphins.
So you guys are. I swear I'm not looking this. Well, first off, I do have somebody on my side here, but mine and Strong's side. Eileen C says I have a feeling the Eagles win, and I know her. I know her as a Jets fan. That would help her. So we'll be happy to help. And then Paul Spencer says Dolphins 36, Eagles 29. Who's stopping Tyreek and Waddle too?
I think Waddle's hurt, but but you're right. Who's going to stop? I think he got banged up a little bit. I got to look on that, but yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going a different direction. I think what I think is what's that?
Yeah.
31-31.
Yeah, you know it. Well, you might think so with that circular orc shit I got behind me.
No,
I was going to say new background, Joe. I like it.
Yeah, but
it's all good.
All right, so listen. Here's what I'm thinking. So the Eagles ate a big case of humble pie this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as good as the Dolphins are, and they're very good. The Eagles are the Eagles offense took a shit yesterday. Well, the Dolphins defense is nothing like the Jets defense. All right, the Jets got an elite level defense. Dolphins defense isn't bad. And Bradley Chubb going against a backup makes me nervous. But I think that the Eagles find their after a week of criticism, I think they find their religion this week, and we go back to a power running game, which is what we're known for. And I think the Eagles control the football. I think they have about 35 minutes of time, but 36 minutes of time of possession. And I think it leads to a lower scoring game. I think the Eagles win. Like 27-20, something like that. Because the Dolphins don't have the football as much.
You know
I can see it.
I kind of like that. Yeah.
Mike Laura is on the same page as me, except he says 27-21. Dolphins don't play that well on the road.
And I mean, what's their record?
Well, they only
won 5-1.
So how many games they play on the road? How many games they play at home? 3-3? They're 2-1 on the road if that's the case.
Well, they lost to Buffalo Buffalo on the road, which is understandable. I mean, because it's at Buffalo.
The problem is it understandable? I watched Buffalo almost take a shit yesterday against the Giants at home with the fucking starting quarterback out.
Dude, I just think it's the league, bro.
The league's weird. The league's a funny league, dude.
My buddy Maurice says the league's fixed.
I'll tell you what, after the Niners lose that game and then Eagles lose a similar kind of game, I was like, this script's starting to get a little funny, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's fixed, though. I don't think it's fixed, but.
Well, hey, anyway. Let's get into some baseball first, but before we do, we touched on the Eagles getting some injuries. Lane Johnson got an injury. Well, the guy I want you to think of when you get injuries is my man Jason Fine, aka Attorney Big Al. If you hurt yourself on that job, you got a slip and fall, workers' compensation, personal injury claims. Call my man Jason Fine. He's got 3 offices throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey. He's got 1 in Philadelphia, PA, 1 in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and 1 in Pittsburgh, PA. So make sure you call him if you have some injury problems. Phillies don't start until 8:07 tonight, so it's going to be a late night. If it's a late night, you might want to have some coffee. Well, if you want coffee, make sure you get the best coffee around, and that's Monkey Colt Coffee. They got a newest organic blend, Peru La Florida. So anyway, make sure if you want to stay up, check them out. Promo code OOTBS Sports at monkeycoltcoffee.com. Make sure you check them out for some of these late games. Hopefully, Phillies fans out there could get themselves a game day mug with the World Series champion Philadelphia Phillies, hopefully this year. Dugout mugs. You could use the promo code OOTBS Sports 20 at dugoutmugs.com. So make sure you check them out. I got one more. Here's Philly Sports Trip. The next trip they have is the Washington trip on October 29th. The players that'll be there will be Hollis Thomas and Jason Avant. So make sure you check them out. They also do a tailgate every home game at Xfinity. Not Xfinity. Live Casino. I had Xfinity on the brain because I'm hoping the Phillies play. I'm hoping the fans will be over there celebrating the night after a Game 1 win.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. So anyway, so make sure you the best in the business. So if you got to take a road trip, check them out. So all right, guys. Now let's get into happier times. Philadelphia Phillies in the National League Championship Series for the second year in a row. We disposed of the Atlanta Braves 3-1. I know, Diego, we were talking about I was ready to have a heart attack on Thursday night watching Matt Strahm close out the game. But he got it done. They got it done. Now tonight we got Zach Wheeler against what's it against Gallen
Zach
tonight?
Gallen.
Correct?
Yeah, Zach Gallen.
Yeah.
The Zacks are facing off tonight.
Yeah,
Zach attack.
Yeah, the only Zach. The only. I was gonna say everything happens in threes. We just need Zach from Saved by the Bell in the building, and we'd be all right, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't Zach?
Yes.
Wasn't it Zach from Saved by the Bell, Sean?
Yeah. And then they had a band, the Zach Attack.
So, as we get into this series, what's your guys' feelings? First off, on Game 1, and also, just the series in general. How you feeling? Are you feeling confident? Do you think it's going to be a sweat or what?
I'm feeling confident. I'm not taking the Diamondbacks, just like JT said. They're us from last year. The bats are hot. You saw what they did to the Dodgers, and boy, did they send their ass home packing. I got the Phillies in 5, and I think Schwarber comes alive this series. He feels the need to step up. I'm hoping Bohm gets all the O for whatever out and has a pretty good game, So that's my thoughts. And I think we win the night 4-2.
Okay. How about you, Diego?
I feel similar to Sean. I mean, you can't take the Diamondbacks lightly, but we're coming off beating the best team in baseball. It's hard not to think this team feels unbeatable right now. I know the Diamondbacks are hot, but we know Philly's different come October. So I don't know if them young kids are ready for it. I mean, they are scary, because they're playing no pressure. They are the Phillies of last year, like you said. But we got to think we're the favorites. We're the favorites.
Yes.
Just got rid of the best team in the league. And how do we think the Diamondbacks are going to beat us? They ain't. And that has to be our
coming into our house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say Phillies in 6.
Okay.
I think we take both here. I think they find a way to get 2 at home, and then we steal 1 there, and we come home and finish them off in 6 with whoever would be on the mound that night. Zach Wheeler?
Well, let's see.
Aaron,
so
Aaron Nola?
6 would be Nola. I think right now the way it sets up, it's Wheeler 1, Nola 2, Suarez 3. 4 will either be Walker or Christian Sanchez, or honestly, possibly both of them. Maybe one guy goes 2-3 innings, the other guy goes a couple innings.
Yeah, they were saying, Joey, piggyback. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then that would leave 5 for the pivotal game, 5 for Wheeler, and then 6 for Nola. So I mean that could very well work its way out. You have Nola closing out in 6 here. See, all right. So for instance, I think the Phillies win tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think we take an L possibly tomorrow, and it's 1-1 going to Arizona. And I think the Phillies take 2 or 3 in Arizona, and then like Diego says, I think they close them out on Monday here. So I think a week from now, a week from tonight, we'll be doing the pregame show to clinch for the World Series.
Okay. Now, before we go, who do you think is going to be your player of the game tonight, or even throughout the series, or tonight and tomorrow?
Going with a birthday boy tonight. Bryce Harper, baby. Let's go. Trying to hit some birthday dingers.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, I'm kind of on your wavelength. Like Harper, Turner, JT, and especially Castellanos have been carrying the offense through the Brave series. I think tonight you see guys like Schwarber and Bone start getting theirs. So I think Schwarbaum hits a Schwarbaum tonight. So I think it's Hoagie Fest season tonight. He hits a Schwarbaum, and I think Bone's too good of a consistent hitter to fuck it. You know, one of the hidden things in game 4 versus the Braves. If we had lost that game, Bohm came up a few times in big spots, and he really came. Bohm had a really tough night.
Yeah.
So did Schwarber. So I think those guys are going to bounce back, and I think they're going to carry the play tonight.
Okay. I'd like to see Schwarber, Harper, and Stott, and Bohm, really have a good series. But tonight, I think Birthday Boy and Schwarber do it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I could see that. All right, and I'm going Phillies in 6. What did you say, Sean? You're going Phillies in 5.
Yeah, Phillies in 5.
Okay, and right now I got the Rangers game on.
Okay.
They're still up 5-2. You know what's ironic? You realize we're playing a team that hasn't lost a playoff game yet. Actually, and neither's Texas. There's 2 undefeated teams in these playoffs so far. Texas and Arizona.
I know Arizona hasn't lost a game yet. They're 5-0.
Okay.
Well,
all good things must come to an end at the bank.
Yeah. Yep.
October,
I agree,
baby.
They ain't never seen anything like Citizens Bank.
No,
bro. I mean they're laid back in Arizona. I think they even got a swimming pool up in that joint.
Oh, they jumped in it when they won. They jumped right in it. Yeah.
Yeah, they got. Yeah, I mean
they're gonna jump right. They're gonna jump right into a pool of their tears after this series.
Yeah, I mean,
I think so too. And hey, all right. So that's the prediction for the series. Who do you guys think would be series MVP?
Trey Turner.
Okay.
Nicky 3 buttons.
Wow, so he's gonna do it again. So what was he? He was NLDS MVP, wasn't he? If he wasn't,
I'm sure he was. He hit back-to-back multi-home run games, first time in history. So we're saying he's the MVP.
Yeah, Mike Lauro says Phillies in 6. Mike Lauro says Nola. Okay, so he thinks Nola gets 2 dubs. Okay, I can see that.
I can see that.
All right, well then, that's the prediction there. How about? I know I'm kind of skipping around a little bit. How about what do you call it? How about the football game tonight? Dallas and the Chargers. What do you got? What are you thinking about that?
Could be a good football game. I mean, I think Dallas finds a way to win that game. They're only giving 1.5, but they are on the road, so I think Dallas wins. How about you?
I see the Chargers eking out a win. Eckler comes back. Hopefully the ankle's all fine and dandy. And, you got Michael Parsons on the opposite end. I think Khalil Mack does a nice little favor to Dak Prescott. So, it'll be interesting to see. But can't take nothing away from Dallas, but we'll see what happens.
Good point, Mike. Good point.
Yeah, a Kellen Moore revenge game. I know. Well, anyway, anybody that's hyped for that game, make sure you check out 7:20 tonight. The cat on this network. The
215.
The 215 boys are going to have a Cowboys prediction. So, needless to say, us as Eagles fans, no offense, guys, but we're kind of hoping that you're
take a loss tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we kind of need it. You know what I'm saying?
Dak is whack.
Yep, for tonight, let's take that out. I did bet the Cowboys though, but whatever.
By the way, this Houston game's not over. It's only the fifth inning, and the Astros just got their leadoff guy on. So
that's what I'm talking about. Let's go. 3-run inning coming. I want the Phillies to be able to get some revenge on the Astros. You know, gives us a little bit more of an edge going into the World Series.
Yeah, exactly. Because if Texas makes that, John, Texas has never won. They've never won a World Series, so it's kind of like, you know, do they kind of become this? You know, do they become the story like, oh, Texas never won a World Series? You know, they came so close in 2011. Remember 2011? The Cardinals had like a miracle comeback in Game 6, and they beat them in Game 7.
Yeah.
So, you know,
but I'll tell you what, Bruce Bochy's a hell of a coach, a manager, man. Wow.
Yeah,
you know, he is. He really is. What he's did with the Giants and now with the Rangers. So
he got them playing good.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
I think I saw some unbelievable. The Astros got 2 guys on. So
okay.
Yeah, two on, no out. So
let's go.
Yeah, I think I saw something about Bochy where like he's won like because he used to manage the Giants. I think he's won like so many playoff series in a row.
Yes,
or something like that. Let me look.
Yeah, there was some.
I can find this Bruce Bochy playoffs. Hang on. But it's something crazy, dude. Like he's won like 14.
Yeah, it's a crazy stat. I know
or something.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's crazy.
Yeah, let me look now. I'm plugging it in here. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay. He had Bruce Bochy. He has, of course, won 3 World Series with the Giants: 2010, 2012, 2014, and he won the pennant with the '98 Padres. He's 13-1 in his last 14 postseason series. His .598% winning percentage in the playoffs is third amongst managers with at least 5 postseason appearances.
Wow!
Damn, he's a beast.
Yeah,
yes, he is.
Well,
and he was retired when the Rangers said, "Hey, Bruce, we need you." He was enjoying that retirement life, but he said, "You know what? Why not? Let's have another crack at it."
You want to talk about a matchup of managers that's like totally the opposite of analytics. It's Bruce Bochy versus Dusty Baker. It's like two total guys.
Yeah.
You got two former major league players. You know, I don't think they're sitting there with binders. They're going there with gut feels. You know, they're
exactly. You're out. Come in. Yeah.
I could picture those 2 guys like you know, sitting in their manager's office like a couple of hours before the game, and they're just like, okay, having a beer or something, sitting there smoking a cigarette.
Their legs are kicked up, yeah.
They're like, all right, what am I doing in this case? You know, all right, I'm bringing in this guy, you know.
Yeah. I'm putting in Sully tonight. And then going to get Kilrain in at the 5th inning.
Yeah, but by the way, third baseman from the Rangers just made an error. It's bases loaded, nobody out.
Oh, Jacob Jung.
Jacob Jung.
Yeah.
Take that out. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, but all right, you know what? Well, since we're on this series, did we make predictions of this series? I want to see Houston, which I probably will regret, but I'd like to see Houston so we have home field advantage. And I know, Diego, I think you said you wanted Houston. Who do you want, Sean? Did you say?
I said to you, and then remember that text? I said the Rangers, and you were saying, "Oh, home field advantage." I want to see something new, but look, you guys got me talking about the cheat game and just revenge with the Astros. It would be nice to play the Astros, kind of punch them in the mouth and take their lunch, and now we win it. So
that would feel better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to feel great no matter what, but that adds a little bit to it. Like when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, I think them beating Tom Brady for it makes it that much better.
It did.
I mean, with Mike Strozen 7.
Yeah, it did. You know, that does play into it because let's all right. So let's look at this, right? If the Eagles had beaten the Jaguars, it still would have been great. But no one would have remembered that as like an epic ass Super Bowl. They would have been like, "Oh, y'all beat Blake Bortles, right?"
Right.
But the fact we beat Tom Brady in like one of the most epic Super Bowls in the history of football.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Football fans, whether you're an Eagles fan or not, will always remember Super Bowl.
Remember that.
You know,
if we beat the Jaguars, nobody would even remember we won a Super Bowl besides Eagles fans.
Yeah,
true.
I got an opposite example for you. So I'm up in 2008. Diego, we had a vendor called Liquid PC. They're based out of New Hampshire, and Mark Weathers and I were friendly with this woman Susan, and so she invited us up, and we went up to New Hampshire, and they hooked us up with Patriots tickets. We saw a Pats-Bills game on a Sunday afternoon. Well, this was 2008, and the Phillies had just won the World Series. So I had this T-shirt on, and it was 2008 World Series, and I had pictures of Tampa Bay players, Phillies players, you know? Mm-hmm. And this guy from Boston goes, oh, wow. He goes, but mind you, Tampa Bay had just beaten Boston in the ALCS. So he's like, you actually watched that series? I'm like, yeah, I'm from Philadelphia. And he's like, no one cared about that series. And I'm like, well, I did. We won that, John. You know what I mean? But
yeah, so go back to your cottage.
No, listen. Now to your point, in Philadelphia, that 2008 World Series will always be remembered because that was our first championship since 1983.
Mm-hmm. Now imagine we beat the Yankees in 2009, though.
That's exactly what I was about to say. The fact we played the Yankees the next year and took the L, you know, that as great as those Phillies teams were, and I'll never forget the 2008 championship, the Phillies are probably remembered more for taking the L to the Yankees than they are for beating Tampa Bay.
I agree. You're 100% right. That's what
you know what I mean?
That's why that Eagles Super Bowl felt so much better. Like, imagine we would have beat Tom Brady and last year would have beat Patrick Mahomes. We would have been like, yeah, we beat the best two quarterbacks in the last like 30 years.
It would be beautiful.
That's why that L hurt so bad because you know, I really feel like we should have won that, John. You know what I mean? Like, but and then how about that shit? Not to sound like a 40 Winers fan, but how about that shit? The end of that Giants, John, where that dude got mugged, and meanwhile, remember Diego, we were sitting there saying, and then the Super Bowl, like Bradbury barely grabbed the fucking guy. You know what I mean?
I agree, and not even that. I feel like because of that call last year in the Super Bowl, these referees were told, like, don't make that decision on the last play of the game. You know what I mean? If it's close and you think it's close, don't call the flag. And I feel like you've seen it, like Cortland Sutton. That happened to him last week or 2 weeks ago. Cortland Sutton with the Commanders. They were playing the Commander. Dude mugged him in the end zone last play of the game. No call. Same thing with Darren Waller, like yesterday. And I've been seeing it a lot. And I feel like it's because that shit was called weak last year.
Yeah.
Don't decide a game. That's corny.
I hear you. Not to rain on your parade. Astros had bases loaded, nobody out, 2 straight strikeouts. Altuve just struck out.
Fuck. That's the inning. That's the game. This inning right here is the game. You load the bases, you're down 5-2. I don't know. You got to win that. You got to score runs. You don't. The game's over.
Yeah, this Nathan Eovaldi, man, he really can battle up there, dude.
Yo, he's got some sick pitches to his arsenal. I was watching MLB, man, and he's really rejuvenated his career from Boston to Texas for sure.
And he was real good for Boston in the 2018 World Series. He had a lot of big outings. He just got out of it. They got a ground ball to third. So bases loaded, nobody out. So the Phillies aren't the only ones that sometimes come up small when you get
there you go.
Like that, you know?
That's baseball. Mm-hmm. That's part of baseball. It happens to every team.
It is. I want to wrap up in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
But before we get out of here, any thoughts on the Flyers just starting? The Flyers won the first game. Didn't look too bad. Konechny had 2 goals. And, we'll get into some hockey talk later. And then I want to get a quick Sixers thing in here too. But Saturday looked like garbage. Ottawa just dominated them.
Saturday I decided to sit down and watch If they just started, I'll give them a chance. They're horrible. They're horrible. They're hard to watch. They suck. It's going to be a long season, Flyers fans. Yeah, it was the first game of the season. You know, you're always hyped for that first game.
That's true.
When I was watching play everything, I'm like, yeah, they're just not a good hockey team. That's the thing. They got some players that can play, but they're not ready to win yet. They're not going to have a good year.
Nah, well, I think
Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully this team finds a way to click in the next couple weeks and get out ahead. I just don't see it, and they stink.
Yeah, and another one I saw as far as the Sixers go. Sixers are ready to start like next week, I think, or maybe a week and a half. There was just a report out says the Clippers will not include Terrence Mann in their offer for James Harden. So to be honest with you, if I'm Daryl
Don't even call that.
I literally say, like, seriously, I literally say, fuck you, James Harden, play for us or sit your ass at home. Like, I'm done, dude. I'm not trading James Harden for like fucking Covington, Batum, and like a first.
Yeah.
You could suck.
Sit on the bench.
You could suck my dick, dude. Seriously.
I agree.
Stay home with your loser mentality. We'll find a way to win. We're much better off without you. We don't need that. You know,
I agree.
All that drama. Plain and simple.
Make them play. Fuck it. I mean,
we're not gonna settle for no bullshit because James Harden was out. Like, But them three players are never going to help us win a championship, and we want to win a championship. So, you don't want to be here, kick rocks. Sit on the bench and wait until we get something suitable. If not, your contract's up at the end of this year.
Yeah,
we're not letting.
I'm telling you that because that's exactly the kind of if I'm running the Sixers, dude, that's exactly the kind of dickhead I'm going to be. Because at the bottom line is, I'm sick of this NBA bullshit, dude. None of these motherfuckers ever come here anyway. Like that's what's pissing me off. It's like they're trying to pipe us up on like this pipe dream that like next year the Sixers are going to have cap money to sign free agents. Ain't nobody coming here, bro. They never do.
Nope. They never do.
Yeah. So and the thing that gets me about the Sixers too, it's like it's like you're always being sold a future that never comes. It's almost like used car. It's like a used car salesman. Like they're trying to sell you on like. Some banana
smoke out your ass.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? Let's have a pause year and maybe Kawhi Leonard and Paul George will come here. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, and Scarlett Johansson's going to come to my window right here, right? Kate
okay.
Kate Upton and Scarlett Johansson are on their way over to christen my new crib.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna be waiting there for a long time, Joe.
Yeah, I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Come on. Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
They gotta let the GMs run the show, not these players, man. You know. But that's all I have to say.
That's the NBA. You know what I mean? And they do gotta do something to change this shit. Because let's be real, you just get to go pick and choose where you want to go. Because you're James Harden and you had a good career, I guess you could say. But have you I don't know. I feel like if you win a couple championships in your career, then you might be able to earn going where you want to go. Like Brown went and won in Miami, went back to Cleveland, gave his hometown a fucking championship. Then now I'm going to go to Los Angeles. Okay, bro. You earned that. You've done everything that you could. Come on, James. Every time you got faced with winning, you failed. What have you earned to be like, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there. Screw you. Sit on the bench.
Yeah, like that. You're exactly right. Like if I'm a Cleveland fan, like when LeBron went to the Lakers, I'm like, damn, this blows. But in my mind, I'm like, well, you know what, he did bring us a John. Like, and he brought
100%. He didn't forget about Cleveland. He didn't just go from Miami to LA. He made sure to make a pit stop. Bring his hometown a championship real quick in his prime, and then I'll go to LA. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool. What did James Harden do to ever earn that?
Nothing.
Right, and
loser mentality.
Say hypothetically the first year James Harden came here, he won a sojourn, and then like last year we didn't win it, and then he's like, I really don't want to be here anymore. Honestly, my mentality would be a little different. Where I'd be like, you know what? I'd be like, hey, you know what? I think he's still.
He brought us one,
but he won it for us. All right, I'm cool. Like he can go.
Right?
You know
yeah, he can go. He can go enjoy his life now. But like, bro, you didn't do that for Houston. You didn't do it for Brooklyn, and now you didn't do it for us. And now you want to go to the Clippers and play with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Of course you do. Of course you do. Nah, I'm good. You can go there. You can go there as a free agent for like $7 million a year.
Yeah, you know what's
Dude,
funny,
the Clippers,
though?
I seen a report today. The Clippers are willing to offer more in a trade for Drew Holiday than they were for James Harden. What's that tell you? That the league thinks about you.
You know what's funny though, and it's funny because like it's amazing because James Harden did lead the league in assists. I mean, James Harden had a good year last year. Like it's not like he's trash. You know what I mean?
No, he's not.
To be real with you though, if I was a GM, I'd offer more for Drew Holiday than James Harden. I'd rather have Drew Holiday right now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
You know, Drew Holiday is an elite level.
He's going to give you more.
Player, and I think he's a little bit more athletic at this stage in his career.
I agree, 100%. Yeah. And he's won.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean,
that's a big difference.
Yeah, although, in all fairness, though, I know we shit on James Harden for not winning, but I do think they would have won that, John, if Chris Paul didn't tear his hamstring that 1 year against Golden State. I think they would have won that series. They were up 3-2.
You're James Harden. James Harden found a way to win it. He was the best player in the league that year. He was MVP. How many 60-point triple doubles did he have?
Yeah, but bro,
like
wait. I hear you, but I hear you, but bro, you had James Harden against Kevin Durant, Steph Curry.
I know it was an uphill battle. I get it. I get it.
You know what I mean?
I know it was almost impossible. But if you find a way to win that, then you do earn being able to go wherever you want to go. And you did it. So that's back to my point. You didn't earn that shit. You don't earn where, I'm going to go here and there, and I'm going to just keep trying to go team to team until I win a championship. Nah, you didn't earn that shit.
Nope.
Yeah, well, he can sit on the bench all year as far as I'm concerned because there's no way I'll tell you, I will literally be. I mean, I'm not the biggest Daryl Morey fan. I'll be really pissed off if he gives in and gives him away. But the only thing that I take solace in, Harden, Kawhi, and Paul George, like everybody would be like, oh my God, they're gonna be so great on paper. None of them motherfuckers. I mean, well, Kawhi did win that, John, in Toronto.
Paul George will play. He'll play.
I think they're all gonna get hurt.
They're all gonna get hurt. Not even that. This is the thing. Kawhi might fake an injury just to get a couple months off. James Harden, he's only getting old. That's what I'm saying. The only one that's going to, if he's 100% healthy, is Paul George. Everyone else is untrustable. James Harden might go there and ask for a trade in 8 months.
Yeah, so.
And if I'm a GM, if I'm the Clippers GM, the only way I'm taking James Harden on my team if it's for a bag of chips. If you're going to give me James Harden for like Norman Powell, a pick and somebody else, and even if James Harden don't want to be here at the end of this year, he goes somewhere else. It don't matter to me. I didn't give up anything to try to win this year. I'm not doing that unless that's the deal I'm getting from the Clippers.
Yeah, and think about that. Like we're only like Terrence Mann's a nice player, but Jesus Christ, I mean, dude, we're asking for Terrence Mann for like an all-time great player, and we can't even get that.
I don't get this Terrence Mann thing. I've seen him play a lot of times. He's an okay player. He's a fucking 8 points a game career game player. But are you really making a difference on a team? You ain't making shit, Terrence Mann. You're okay on a Clippers team that needed you to try to do everything you could in your power to win. We don't need you to do that here. We're going to need you to score 20 points because we got to replace James Harden.
Yeah, I think what it is I think Morey needs 2 first-round picks, Terrence Mann, because then he can try to parlay that into something else. You know what I mean?
If that's what you're going to do with Terrence Mann, then I like that. If Terrence Mann's going to come in and solve some problems, he ain't.
Got a comment here. Den Boys podcast. You can check them out at 7:20. He goes, "Let's go Cowboys tonight. They better win. Post game suck when they shit the bed." We happen to like the post games when they shit the bed, but that's besides the
Yeah,
point.
that's my favorite. They're my favorite.
So, all right. Well, listen. You know what? Let's get ready to roll here because we could talk about the Sixers all night long. But hey, we got
That's for another time.
It's
got
Red
the
October,
Phils.
and
It's Red October, baby. Let's go. Get a win tonight.
Let's go Phillies. Let's go Eagles next week. Hey, in a perfect world, hopefully it doesn't even go 6. Hopefully by this time next week we're talking about the World Series.
I hope so.
5 in
All
5.
right.
Let's hope.
Ring the bell, baby.
Prediction.
All
Ring
right,
the bell.
All right, y'all. Well, go Phils. We'll see you all later.
All right, guys. Have a good night.